Hello everybody, my name is Jad. Welcome to another MLB 9 Innings 25 video. In today's video, we've got some past combos. We've got the Club World Challenge rewards. Is that the name of it? I don't actually know. It's just the Club World, thing. We got to talk about that too, because apparently there is some seriously annoying things that happened over the week. If you were on the Reddit or if you've been in any basically club discussion recently, you know that there's like some seriously unfair things that have been going on with that. So we'll get into that in the video today. There has already been a lot of people sending, like this always happens, a lot of people sending a lot of inquiries about how this is unfair, and it seems like they listen to us a little bit, but it seems like more towards the end they just kind of have just dug their feet in and they just have decided to stop listening to us. So let's talk about it a little bit. What happened? Originally, there was supposed to be this event so that there's the World Challenge event where you're basically playing like a souped up club challenge essentially for rankings with the East and the West servers, and you're supposed to be playing against some AI lineups to score points to unlock rewards playing every single day. And what happened was it was very clear that the West server is not nearly as strong as the East server, which we clearly know this. I mean, the people in the East server spent an absolutely inordinate amount of money to play this game, and their teams are so much better than ours. Like, if you've ever played, like, anybody who's played this game a long time, and you remember, like, when we used to play Rivals Day, and you play manual, like, some of the teams you play, just in the mid-hundreds in power rankings, just absolutely destroy you. Like, the only reason you win against them every once in a while is because you would be able to manually play against them. Like, if you simmed against them, there's no chance you're winning. I'm sorry, that's just, their teams are insane. So originally, it seemed that the West server was going to have a difficult time making the initial requirements to unlock every single day's rewards. So a bunch of people sent in some inquiries, and then, I'm giving them credit, but they actually reduced the threshold for the rewards so that way the people in the West server could actually get them. They reduced the numbers on both sides, so both servers could get them more easily, but I don't think that the East server really had an issue getting them originally. But then the problem that really arose was not necessarily with this, but it was the All-Star event that happened, which apparently they never changed the All-Star event number, so that way there was never a chance that it was going to happen. So the All-Star event was, I believe it was like the top 60 clubs went head-to-head playing an even harder lineup, and what happened is based on the point threshold that the top 60 clubs would be able to achieve, the entire server would get milestone rewards based on how well the servers did. So essentially, the East server racked up 7.1 million points, which was able to get the East server every single reward, and every single player on the East server received the maximum number of milestone rewards, when the West server only racked up 5.1 million points, and thus was not able to get to all of the max milestone points for the event. So inherently, it was essentially so that way, no matter what the West server did, there was no chance that they were ever going to make it to the milestone rewards, and that's the problem where we are now, is that the number was way too high, the disparity between the two servers is way too large, there's no way that the top 60 clubs in the West server could ever compete with the top 60 clubs in the East server, and it was just kind of, it's just frustrating now, because a lot of people are now sending these one-to-one inquiries saying that the event was inherently unfair, that there was no chance that these clubs would ever receive these rewards, and their response is now more frustrating than anything, which is the fact that they said, okay, we heard what you were telling us, but we don't really think that we don't really think that we can change it now, and we might change it next time. Like, it's to me, it's just completely stupid. So I'm looking at this post, like, I read a couple posts, I read a couple Discord comments throughout the day. I've just been kind of following along with the general consensus here, and I thought it was very good, in my opinion, that they initially changed the thresholds and the milestones, because I thought that it was very unfair. It was basically looking like the West server was going to get, like, none of the rewards. So they initially, they changed the daily bonuses, or the daily requirements down. I think it was like either 4 or 5 million down to like 2 million for each day, and then finally we were able to actually get some of the rewards. So don't get me wrong, it's good to get some of the rewards, but the problem is that necessarily it's like you basically gave the entire East server like a Team Select Sig and some Diamond Trainers and some other things, and now we don't get those things. So now the disparity is even worse, and those rewards are going for people who necessarily didn't really pay to earn them. You're basically just getting those rewards off of the backs of the top 60 teams in each server. I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. I think the idea is cool. I like it. It just seems to me that the two servers are nowhere near equal strength, and I think that they did a very, very poor job of applying the milestones to each single server. It was very stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we've known forever that these aren't equal servers, and you could have known because we've been talking about this for years. Essentially, that the people from the East server would come to this server because it was so much easier to win once you have already an established team. Like, if you're a top 100 team in one server, you're probably going to dominate this server over here because there just isn't the same level of competition. People don't want to spend the same amount of money as they do here and there. And honestly, I totally understand that idea. I don't want to spend money on a mobile game like that. And that's honestly, there's different cultures. Sometimes it's more acceptable there than it is here, in my opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But it just seems like it's crazy. Like, we got none of the bonus PSETs in the event. Like, we got nothing. So it's wild to me that they miscalculated this so poorly. I mean, actually, it isn't that wild that they miscalculated this poorly. This is par for the course at this point. I mean, this is a company that basically doesn't know how time zones work, which we've known this forever now. Anytime there's a notice that this says something's going to come out at 10 p.m., it always comes out at 10 a.m. or vice versa. It just doesn't make sense. Half the time the maintenance happens on a day it's club day, but it's just crazy. So, am I surprised? No, I'm not really surprised. Am I frustrated? Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated. I'm a little frustrated that they haven't gone back and they haven't, like, that the math was just so poor to begin with, and now that people are calling them out on it, now they're just kind of burying their head in the sands and they're just throwing their hands up like, what do you want us to do? What I want you to do is, I think that everybody in the server should be rewarded these things based on, like, a 5 million point threshold instead of a 6.5 million point threshold. It's just kind of silly to me that they've thrown their hands up and they've just gone, well, nothing we can do now. Sorry, guys. We've done everything we can. We've done nothing, and we've still done everything we can. So, to me, it's just kind of silly to me to think about the fact that some people are going to look at this and say, well, it's okay because I got some rewards, so it's okay. I got a special signature pack, and I did get a Diamond Trainer, so it's okay. But the problem is that this is not... there's no guarantee that this will be fixed in the future, and I feel like everybody missed out on it. Like, I think it's a really fun event. I thought it was a cool thing. It was nice for everyone to come together and basically not necessarily compete with each other, but essentially compete together against a lineup. But I think what it really showed is that there is, like, really a lot of disparity here, and we've already rehashed that a lot of times at this point, but, I mean, there's a lot of people, in our club, like, we're in a top 50 club ourselves. We have a couple teams in the top 50. We do compete. We're in the power ranking tournament. We've been there. We've won power ranking. We've finished first place in the entire club season before. We did that twice in a row. And the point is that a lot of us are getting very, very disenfranchised by the fact that if you don't just spend copious amounts of money on this game, your team is going to fall further and further behind, kind of like my team does. And I think a lot of people in our club are kind of realizing that, and a lot of people are starting to really kind of run for the door here and kind of be like, this is just not really that fun anymore. So, I don't know, man. Maybe it's fun. It's fun to build team, and it was a lot of fun over the years to build a team. It just kind of seems like, at this point, there isn't really much more that you could really do in terms of, like, it kind of feels like we've hit the wall here. Like, there isn't really much more growth to hit, unless you decide to go absolutely insane. So anyway, I mean, maybe I don't quite understand the problem here, but I don't know if I necessarily have the belief that anything is going to come of this. It just kind of feels like we've seen this song and dance before, and it just kind of feels like this is just going to become something that is just ignored. I wouldn't mind next time if they really decide to use this, what we've seen here, and kind of retune the event and basically make it like 20 or 30% more difficult for the other server, but just, just find a way to find a balance in between these scores. I mean, I wouldn't really mind it. It's going to be like, I think, like a twice yearly event here, so it's not like this is going to be something that's going to happen very often. So they have a lot of time to really mess around with it, but man, it really kind of fell short in my opinion. A lot of people were just kind of really confused by the whole event. I know I saw a lot of people who were very, unsure of what they were supposed to be doing here. So I'm not really too sure what the solution is, but in my opinion, they definitely need to really take a look at this and kind of need to make it a little bit easier for our server, because the point is not necessarily to, like, punish us for not being as good as the other server. It's supposed to be an entire event that kind of brings everyone together and kind of have fun together, but it just kind of felt like it was just an uphill battle, and then we got like 2/3 of the way up the hill, and then the stone kind of crushed us and rolled back down the hill. Kind of like a cartoon or like some Acme film, something. It felt like it was a very strange experience. It just didn't feel like it was a lot of fun in just not being able to hit the milestone rewards. And I mean, like I said, I gave them credit earlier, I'll give them credit now. They did change the numbers in the beginning, but the fact that they didn't change the All-Star numbers is kind of wild to me. The fact that they didn't think that there needed to be a change there. So, it's a very weird thing. There's a lot of people who are sending one-to-one inquiries saying that they're upset. I mean, look, you can send them one-to-one inquiries. I guarantee you that at this point, they're just flagging basically every single one-to-one inquiry that's coming into them that has to do with this situation, and they're either ignoring them or they're just not reading them, because a lot of people are getting essentially cut replies. They're just essentially getting, whatchamacallit, what's the word I'm looking for? They're getting just the same response over and over again. Oops. I didn't turn on my do not disturb. My bad. 1 second. So, feel free to send them a one-to-one inquiry, but please remember, you gotta be respectful. You can't send them just hate messages, because they'll just ban you for that. I mean, their automated system will probably just ban you before you even get to speak to somebody. And then you can never speak to somebody again, probably, because they'll probably just ban your account from even being able to send them messages anymore. So, you gotta be smart. You can't be silly. You can't be stupid like that. I also don't think they're reading the messages anyway, because everyone's just getting the same silly response anyway. They're all just getting we hear you're frustrated. We hear you. We're going to look into it. They're getting the same response over and over again. So, me personally, I don't think there's a point in sending them a response at this point. I think that as long as everyone just, I think you can speak a lot better if you speak with your wallet than if you speak with messages. So a lot of people are talking about having another spending boycott because the last 4 of them went so well, in my opinion. I mean, every single time there's a spending boycott, we do this. We're just like, oh, I'm not spending on this game again. No, the real way is just to stop spending at all on this game, in my opinion. Which is kind of like where I am, where I'm only basically spending on the $50 the mileage for the PSETs. I think that's potentially one of the only sales in this game that's even worth it, because the rest of it's just essentially gambling. So that's my opinion. I think this is just going to go the way of every single other spending thing. It's just the next single time that there's a good sale that comes out, which is either like the Supremes or the PSETs, where people need to upgrade their team, people are going to be like, oh, well, we're spending boycott, but if I don't, then I'm going to fall further behind. And then, it's just the same thing happens every single time. There's like a good sale, like a diamond trainer comes out or something happens and people are just suddenly disillusioned by that again. And then it just goes out the window. And then, did you really have a spending boycott? Because I don't think you did. Like, you were not very serious about a spending boycott here. Yep, we'll see what happens, guys. I don't know. I don't expect them to actually change anything. I expect them to just not care, as usual. And it's sad that we've come to that point now where, at this point, we're like, I just don't expect anything to happen because I've seen this song and dance before. It's very disappointing because, in my opinion, it's what should be done to be right, but, Anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think I've basically talked about this ad nauseum, so I think it's unfair. I don't think it's going to change. I think you guys are, we're just kind of wasting our energy sending them messages because they're not reading them, and also they don't care. They clearly don't care. So let's see. Live, Ultimate Wish player pack. Wish. I'm saving the wishes. Okay. Special position selective signature pack. I don't know what position we necessarily would go for this. I need a Wade Boggs, so I would probably use a third base one because I would just be hoping for a third baseman, essentially, at this point. You know, maybe we can YOLO a Wade Boggs. I really don't know. Okay, no. Ooh, Greg Nettles. That might be useful. It's actually pretty cool. Okay, let's hit the Greg Nettles, though. That's pretty sick. I'm glad to have a Yankee third baseman. It's not necessarily what we want, because I don't think Greg Nettles has great fielding. But that's pretty sick. I love getting a team sig. It's been a long time since we've had a team sig, so maybe we can parlay him into another one. 76 fielding, that might be pretty good. Potentially a third baseman with a 5-tool player. That could be something that's actually very useful. We'll have to consider it. That's definitely something that's on the menu now. Because I'm tired of not having a third baseman that can field. I love George Brett, but man, dude, he cannot field, and he is driving me crazy. Oh, field. Free? I'll take free. Free's a good price. Unfortunately, I don't really have a use for a normal grade increase at this point, but that's pretty cool. So, it's 2 SIG player packs. Like I said, looking for that Wade Boggs Yankee SIG. Oh, what? That's another Yankee SIG. Okay. I've had the Andrew McCutchen before. He's still on my bench somewhere, I believe. That's pretty sick. 2 Yankee SIGs in one video. That's dope. 3 PSETs. Nice. So we could even potentially do, I believe we could do a Clubcraft SIG as well. There is another, I have this Gary Sanchez I'm never going to be using. So we can get rid of this Gary Sanchez 19. And we can go potentially do, I think that's 2 SIGs, right, for a Clubcraft, if I'm correct. I don't actually know, because it's been about 3 millennia since we've actually done a Clubcraft, so maybe we can do that. That's pretty sick. We've pulled 2 Team SIGs in one video. How do I get to Clubcrafting again? I think it's through here. Let's see. Team select. Nope, that's not it. Yes, team signature pack. Oh, wait, is it any signature? Wait, what? Oh, wait. No, wait, hold on a second. Can I use any signature? No way. Oh, yeah, okay. No, it's okay. All right. I got it. I was very confused because it just said signature player. It's the 2 teams that you use. It's a signature pack, but it doesn't know what team you are. I was like, hello, huh? It's like I could use a Red Sox player as my team. Select SIG. What? Huh? Don't mind me, guys. It's been a long time. That's how long it's been. Oh. Don Baylor. Yeah, no, unfortunately, we don't need another DH, so we will hold him for another time. But that Greg Nettles is going to be pretty sick, in my opinion. That's a great 5-tool player. That's a great... Oh, what's that? Hold on. What's the legend skill I'm thinking of here? It's on my mantle, I think. It's also on my Robinson Cano. Yeah, no, it's not on Robinson Cano. Nope. Is it mantle? Nope, it's not mantle either. Hold on. I know somebody has it on my team. Nope. Is it? Yeah, Born to Be a Star, that's the one. Born to Be a Star is the one that, in my opinion, is going to be really good on him. So if I got like a Born to Be a Star 5-tool player on him, I think that'd be sick as a defender, as a Greg Nettles. But I do love my George Brett, though. My George Brett is sick with his Pio Charisma Spotlight. That's it. Dude's a dope card, but, you know, if I could get something absolutely nutty on Greg Nettles, that'd be pretty sick. So, let's continue with the video. Let us go use our legend skill change ticket that we got from the event, which is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. We got some good rewards from the event, but I just think that it could have been even better rewards, in my opinion. And that's the part that really frustrates me. It's the fact that it was really good, but it could have been even better. Oh, pitcher's chemistry 322. Yeah, no, that's not happening. That's right. The LSCTs are PChem tickets. I forgot about that entirely. I don't know what the auto use feature is, but we're just gonna do it manually this time. I need to go look into that. Actually, no, triple three. Oh, that'd be hilarious if I got a triple three on a normal set. That would be really funny, guys. Another pitcher's chemistry. Man, bruh. Pain. Triple three. Oh, okay. 3-3-1. Oh, pitching coordinator. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. Baseball recently has been rather entertaining. The Yankees did just win a big series against the Blue Jays, and let me be honest, it was an ugly series. It was not a very It was very, very ugly. Not to mention the fact that we just came off the Astros series. I don't know if anybody like watches the baseball subreddit like I do, but Brian Walsh, the umpire in the Astros series, had potentially one of like the worst series I've ever seen. That Astros series was completely insanity. We had 3 games in a row where just something strange happened in every single game. There was the first game where Trent Grisham hits the grand slam. Oh, 3-3-1. I would actually consider BPD as a 3-3-3 skill, especially because I could save it and then just use the legend change ticket at some point. But so Trent Grisham hits the grand slam, and then there was the situation where it seems like Framber Valdez essentially crosses up his catcher on purpose, which was a wild situation. And they tried to do damage control and say that no, that didn't happen. In my opinion, like it looked exceptionally intentional. It was very weird because you see the catcher try to signal the pitcher to step off, and then I guess Valdez got upset at that, threw a sinker down the middle of the plate, and Trent Grisham deposited Oppo into the Crawford boxes for a grand slam. And then the very next pitch, the catcher calls for, I guess, a curveball, and Framber Valdez just throws a sinker right at him. And then very strangely, he just kind of, instead of like, the thing that really makes it like weird to me is the fact that he didn't even apologize for doing it in the moment. He just kind of walked away, stepped off the mound, and just kind of like made it that to me was the moment where I thought that it was an intentional thing. Was the fact that he didn't even show remorse, he didn't say sorry or anything. He just kind of said, "Yeah, that's what you get." It's such a strange situation. Then you go to the next game where Brian Walsh has a really poor job behind the plate and just forgets what strikes are. Thought something else happened too. I'm thinking to myself, I don't really remember. But Brian Walsh essentially forgot what a balk is, and then also squeezed the Yankee pitchers, and then called like a really, really poor game behind the plate. I think it was like a 1.4 run favor against the Astros, which in my opinion, that happens. You have bad days behind the plate. So that to me was unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then you go to the third game where Brian Walsh is at third base and forgets what a catch is essentially, and Ryan McMahon catches a ball and then loses it on the transfer, and then Brian Walsh is like, "Nope, that's not a catch." It was an incredible series of just malfeasance and what am I doing here? I'm not doing Tanaka. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid. I'm talking about this and I'm not focusing. Alright, so it was just a very weird series. I mean, I don't think anything untoward was happening. I think the guy just had a really bad series. The whole umpiring crew was just rough. Inning eater? I don't know if inning eater is good enough. I don't know. You guys could let me know if that's good enough or not. I'll go ask around and see if that's good enough. I don't think it's good enough, me personally, but maybe. I like the idea of easy outs. It's not what I wanted. I want Finn or Dom there personally, but maybe we'll hold off for 2 blue tickets next week. The whole series was just rough, in my opinion, for the umpiring crew. A lot of people are talking about how he's how he's a Red Sox fan. I mean, I think it's silly to really talk about such things, in my opinion, but, we'll see. Obviously, they're protected from the union, so I think there's, no chance that anything comes out of this at all. Maybe just, a strong finger wag. You just be like, you better not do that again. So, let's see. We've got one normal diamond trainer ticket today from the event, and then we've got some gold trainer recruit tickets, a diamond skill one, which I got from League, and then a premium skill trainer recruit ticket as well. Now, let me double check my inventory. I think I've got enough space for all of these. I just want to make sure because I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let's see. Train reserve. Okay, I got 20 spots available. So now the Yankees are, I believe, 2 games back at Toronto. They don't play today. And now we go play the Tigers, who have been reeling right now, and I'm hopeful that we can maybe take 2 out of 3 from them. I'm not expecting a sweep, considering I've been talking to one of my friends in our club as a Tigers fan, and he is just kind of beside himself, kind of like Yankee fans were beside themselves for a long time. So I completely confide in him. I was like, well, it's going to be a toss-up series. They could go either way. Either team could get swept, in my opinion. No, I don't need another pitching diamond trainer, man. It's a pretty good one. I don't need another diamond skill trainer. I do not need another diamond pitcher trainer. I'm so desperate for batter ones. Oh, 5-tool player. Iron Will. And then we're going to go see if I get anything good from here. Spotlight. 4.25% home run hit. That's pretty good. Strength and strength. Home run like hit. Any of the ones that increase the home run like hit, that's the one that I really like. That one's pretty good. That one's essentially like a little like a miniature OP right there. What does my Chad Green have? I want to double check what my Chad Green has when I'm done with this Diamond Skill Trainer one. Ooh, Mr. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I got. Increase the pitching accuracy by 7.8%. I don't know what that means, but sure. Yeah, pretty good. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. Pitching accuracy. Whenever someone says pitching accuracy, that's when my brain starts to go, maybe we're dealing with like, you know, magic, like, astrological stuff. It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you have on your skill thing? Because you have touchable. Oh, no, you don't. I mean, Britton has a touchable, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Alright, I want to unequip this one, and I want to put that other one because that's really good in my opinion. The fact that he reduces home runs, super useful. Where's untouchable? Untouchable, 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 untouchable. No, I don't want to release it. No. Didn't I just click register? I swear I just clicked register, and then it was like, nope. Perfect. The less home runs for Zach Britton is, in my opinion, a great thing. And we've already got a diamond trainer for Sonny Gray. We'll slap that Mr. Perfect on there. And then, you know, long term, we can change his position. We can change this option down here, maybe. Which one that Judge has? Oh, yeah, Charisma. Okay. Spotlight, pretty good. Who was the one? Let me see. What was that Spotlight one? I want to unequip that one, and I want to give him the other Spotlight that actually has the home run bonus on it. Here we go. 4% extra home run like hits. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me, in my opinion. Alright, I think that's going to be everything for the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are kind of feeling what I'm feeling when it comes to the All-Star event. I just feel like they could have done so much better, in my opinion, and hopefully they actually find a way to make it actually useful for us in the future. No guarantees of that, but anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck with your packs, your pulls, your combos, and I will see you guys next Monday for another video. Until then, peace.